Well, if they do this correctly, it'll be a great thing. Let's check this out.
So it looks like Deadpool 3 is going to be a key part to the soft reboot of the MCU. In fact, it looks like we have a confirmation coming directly from Marvel Studios stating that Deadpool is going to rewrite the history of the MCU. So everything that we've seen so far in the MCU, Deadpool is going to go around in Deadpool 3 and rewrite what happened. And Marvel Studios even
hopefully
calls
that means
Deadpool
fix.
irresponsible. And yeah, if you're going around changing the entire history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as we know it, that could be deemed as irresponsible. But hey, that's Deadpool for you. Who else would he be? But this new information we have learned tells us that Deadpool 3 is going to be even more important than we thought it would be. So we're going to break down everything you need to know and how Deadpool can rewrite the MCU history and start the soft reboot in Deadpool 3. And if you want to stay up to date on Deadpool and the MCU, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. We're also giving away a PS5 and Xbox Series X. More on that at the end. So yesterday, very reliable insider Alex P from the Cosmic Circus tweeted this: "Me, I will do my best to keep my expectations low for Deadpool 3. Reads the log line." And the log line reads here, quote, "The irresponsible anti-hero Deadpool will change the history of the MCU with Wolverine." End quote. Then he put me and posted a gif of Deadpool saying, "I'm very turned on right now." Now, big shout out to Alex because I messaged him and he told me where to find this. As it turns out, this is on the official Marvel Japan website. And when they talk about some of their upcoming releases, Deadpool 3 is one of them. It shows a picture of Deadpool colors saying coming soon, and the title reads the latest installment in the Deadpool series. And just so everybody is aware, this is referring to live action projects, either movies or shows. Right to the left of Deadpool 3 is Echo. So this is entirely referring to Deadpool 3, plus not to mention when you read the description, it is that log line that Alex B put on Twitter, that irresponsible hero Deadpool will change the history of the MCU with Wolverine. Theatrical release in 2024. So right away we've established this is indeed talking about Deadpool 3 unmistakably. But now we know from an official Marvel Studio site that Deadpool, well I should say the irresponsible Deadpool, although they do call him a hero, will change the history of the MCU with Wolverine. And I gotta tell you, this is going to make for one heck of a movie. We are going to revisit many parts of the MCU, it sounds like. Now, right away, I don't want to start the whole cameo thing. We know that there are going to be lots of cameos in Deadpool 3, and I don't want to push it overboard. However, there is a possibility, I'm not going to say confirmed, but there are now several possibilities that we could go back in the history of the MCU as we know it from phase 1 to up until now, really, and we could see some cool cameos. I'm not saying Robert Downey Jr. is going to show up, but what if Deadpool revisits the very first Avengers film and changes that whole entire history? Then we can either see one of two things. We could see just the footage they used for the Avengers film and they add Deadpool CGI in somewhere.
What if he visits
we could get some cameos.
Captain Marvel, make sure it never comes out.
Happen, but we do know we are going to get some pretty dang cool cameos in Deadpool 3 with some of the original X-Men returning. Now, I know what several people are thinking right now. Well, what do you mean Deadpool is going to rewrite MCU history? Well, there's a bit to unpack here because there are actually several different ways that this could happen. The first one is that Deadpool could literally rewrite what we'll call the sacred timeline, which is really our 616 universe. That means he could multiverse travel at some point to any event in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the main 616 universe and change it and affect the future, therefore altering events that take place, which could drastically change the future of the MCU. Now, this is really not likely. For those who are worried that they might undo everything that we've known and loved for the past well over a decade, that's probably not going to
just
happen.
Undo the bad faces.
What we know about how timelines work in the MCU, this isn't possible. If Deadpool were to go into the main 616 timeline and change an event, that should create a branched timeline based off of everything that we've learned so far. Marvel has recently gotten kind of vague with their time travel rules, and they have broken them a little bit, but based based off of what we know, that's what should happen. A branch timeline should happen. So anything that would change the events of the main MCU should really happen in an alternate timeline, which is probably one of the reasons that the TVA is after Deadpool. We know that at some point in time, Deadpool and Wolverine are going to end up in the TVA. In fact, recently, Ryan Reynolds made a joke about Wolverine's prison number, so we believe that the TVA will have captured Wolverine and Deadpool will break Wolverine out. But we also know that the TVA will be after Deadpool, and it seems like we know why now. He is going around completely changing events that have happened in the sacred timeline. So what's most likely going to happen is that yes, Deadpool could end up on the sacred timeline and he could start changing events, but what's really going to happen by him doing this is he's going to create a bunch of branched timelines. Now, here's the thing. Based off of what happened in Loki 2, this should be fine. Branch timelines are allowed to happen now, but I believe that they are allowed to happen naturally. Like Sylvie being born a girl and whatever she did to cause a branch timeline happen, that wasn't her fault. She wasn't multiverse jumping into different realities, into different universes and causing branch timelines. That happened naturally for her. That's how she was born. Deadpool's different. Deadpool is going to be jumping around, causing branch timelines to happen in different parts of the sacred timeline in multiple universes. This is not a natural occurrence. This is Deadpool kind of just breaking the laws of the multiverse. Because what can happen by Deadpool doing this, which is also going to be another major theme of Deadpool 3, is that by him going into these different universes, he can cause incursions. We learned about this in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Mr. Fantastic explained that by Doctor Strange simply being there, simply one being from another universe appearing in their universe, it confuses and destabilizes their reality, which is essentially what Deadpool is going to go about doing. So as Deadpool goes to hopefully major parts of the MCU's history, the first Avengers film, heck, the first Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Ultron, and hopefully Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, because I would love to see Deadpool hold the Infinity Stones, and any other awesome major event that we could think of, hopefully Deadpool goes and revisits. But while he does this, he is most likely causing incursions, and that is going to be the main reason that the TVA is after him. But it doesn't sound like the TVA really prunes people anymore. If Wolverine has a prison number, then they're most likely holding him there, and they haven't pruned him. The same is probably going to go for Deadpool. But as far as the bigger picture is concerned, we've talked about this a lot on the channel. We talked about it yesterday, actually. But for those who might not know, we know that the TVA is going to go around a bunch of different universes, gathering heroes, saving them from incursions, and bringing them into one place. And this will essentially be a multiverse Avengers team consisting of the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, X-Men, and some other characters probably. Hopefully some villains as well. So incursions and the multiverse collapsing is going to be a big theme of Deadpool 3. Now ultimately I think the TVA is going to realize that it's not Deadpool that's really causing a lot of incursions. Yes, he has caused some, like Doctor Strange has caused some, but it's really the Council of Kangs behind everything. And that is essentially why we are going to get this big multiverse Avengers team, because the TVA and all of the heroes are going to realize that in order to fight a multiversal group, they're going to need a multiversal group of their own, and it's going to need to be insanely strong. Now, according to some reports that we have heard in the past, Deadpool, Wolverine, and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man are going to be some of the leaders of this new team, which I personally cannot wait to see. But that's in Secret Wars. In the meantime, Deadpool 3 sounds like it's going to be absolutely insane. And I'm curious too if Deadpool could do something along the MCU's sacred timeline to cause mutants to appear in the MCU sooner rather than later. They've kind of appeared in the MCU so far. We know that Ms. Marvel is a mutant, we know that Namor is a mutant, but we haven't seen any of the traditional X-Men mutants or Brotherhood of Mutants at all. So I'm curious, since Deadpool knows about the X-Men, if he could somehow cause them to appear in the MCU sooner rather than later, or if he'll simply just make a joke about it, stating that they can't because of the whole Fox rights, and then Disney bought Fox, etc., etc. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of jokes from Deadpool breaking the fourth wall, of course. But is there a specific event that you would like Deadpool to revisit in Deadpool 3, or I should say rewrite? Where would you like to see Deadpool appear? I personally would love to see him in the first Avengers film, and I would love to see him in Avengers Infinity War and or Avengers.
He should appear.
Let me know your thoughts about this.
He should appear in almost everything after Endgame. Almost everything after Endgame and rewrite it all so it all goes away. This whole bad dream goes away. And then the fans get to be happy after Deadpool 3 comes out. Everything will be good again. Make entertainment great again. Get over to the Cosmic Wonder and subscribe. And if you enjoyed my reaction, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share right here. That Ryan going to play here the game. Bars! 10 million subscribers. Woo!